Good morning. I'm out on my morning walk. It's about 8 o'clock. Um, I got home last night about midnight after a birthday party at the beach for a friend of ours, my twin and I. I have my morning coffee with me. So I want to talk a little bit about, I guess, about the twin flame thingy. I have mixed emotions on it, really. I'm really tired of it. I've said that before, but I'm like really tired of it. And I feel like something about it isn't quite mutual. Something about it is, see, I don't even know if that's the right way to put it. I feel like emotionally I'm withdrawing a little bit from it. Like I'm starting to see things that in the physical world that isn't what I want for myself. You're not even in a see, I don't know. I need to separate the feelings that I have that are kind of like romantic from the friendship feelings and then see where it settles. Because how I feel right now is that it's a little bit tighter than just a friendship, but at the same time, there are things in there that the behaviors are as if it's only a friendship and and like from his side towards me. I'm sick of holding on to it. It's like I'm sick of feeling like I have to hold on to something or else it'll just fall apart. And that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm the only one holding on to even the friendship almost. Like he does invite me here and there to go and do things, special things or whatnot, but I feel like they're so far in between that if I wasn't holding in the middle of those different parts of it, then even those wouldn't exist because everything else would just fall apart. And I don't want to be in something that I have to hold on to it, really, or chase after it, or worry about it being there or not being there. I just kind of want to let go. And I feel like I'm withdrawing. Like, there's only so much that you can really get hurt without, before you say, just like, fuck it, what am I doing here? What am I doing in this place? Like, what do I need it for? I want to be in the center of my own life, not my life rotating around somebody else. I want my life to rotate around me. And I feel like with him, it's like he could take it or leave it. He could really care less, almost. Like if I didn't instigate the meetings between us, or then we would just never meet, or we would just meet randomly if we did. So yesterday we were at a birthday party of a mutual friend at the beach. And there wasn't anything that really super duper happened or anything. And this letting go that I've been feeling for a while. I've been feeling for, I've been feeling it for, like, I'm trying to think how long I've been feeling it, but I've been feeling it at least for, a week or two. It's kind of like I'm looking at the relationship and, I'm kind of looking at it and seeing what it really looks like. And I feel like I'm just tired of it. That's it. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it. It feels like in the relationship, I am like in between the two of us, then I am biyachas alav. Like I am in comparison to him, or like it feels like in his mind and in my mind, like he's in the center and I am relevant to whatever he is. There's a bee. And then I'm trying to assess because I know that everything is exactly as it's supposed to be. And I know that I'm talking from my 3D self, but that's also part of it. And I feel like I've done a lot of healing this last year or so since we've been in touch. I've done a lot of healing. And maybe in this last year or so, that in order to do the healing, I had to put myself in that position or in that place or in that relevance as him being the teacher and me being the student. But the always wanting more and always feeling like I want a romantic relationship and realizing that this is what the friendship looks like. This is it. Take it or leave it. So it's not going to evolve into more than it is. Just take whether it is going to or isn't going to isn't relevant. It is what it is right now. And is this what I want and the place that I want to be in right now? Like, I want a romantic relationship. I want physical aspects of a romantic relationship. I want to feel like somebody, um, you know, is longing for me, is caring about me, wants to be there for me. With him, it's always like he's always holding me off. And like yesterday we were having this conversation where about trust, whether I can trust him or not trust him. And I said, I can trust him. I feel like I can trust him. And maybe for what the relationship is, I can trust him. And he was saying that he doesn't trust me all the way. He can only trust me like 90 some percent. And if he doesn't feel like he can trust me, first of all, you have to put trust where you want to get trust back. You can't be half hearted in something and hold somebody back and expect them to I mean, what to do. This is a physical world, and you can't just yeah, you can't trust that I'm going to be there in every single aspect if you're not in it as well, you know I don't know what he means by trust me, but I kind of do. But there are things that I don't trust him. I was thinking about it afterwards. I was thinking, do I trust him completely? There's things that I completely trust him in. But there's other things I don't trust him in. I don't trust that he has my back. I don't trust that he'll be there for me. I mean, even last night we were sitting down, we were going to eat, and then he said, "No, no, I don't want to eat." Because I don't know, something the energy or whatever. Okay, whatever. So, we were already sitting down to eat, and we always leave together. As friends, it's something that you can kind of, if I can't count on him for anything, um, like that, I can't count on something that for me is kind of basic, then what kind of friendship is it? Or just like common decency or common respect. So I sat down to eat, and as soon as I start sitting down to eat, like 2 seconds later, he gets up and says, "Okay, I'm leaving." And I told him, and I didn't. It wasn't going to take me an hour to eat. You know, 5 minutes, maybe. And we always leave together. It's something that that he knows as a friend. And I've even told him that I don't like staying there after dark when he's not there. I don't like it. It feels empty for me. It feels like I feel like. And so he gets up and he says, "Okay, I'm leaving." And I said, "Wait a minute, wait for me." It's like if he can't even wait for me, or he doesn't see, like, doesn't even feel like a friendship. I mean, fuck a relationship. Okay, so it's not a relationship. That ship already sailed, right? Okay, so no expectations there. But expectations is a friend. Like, he says we're like the closest friends. That didn't feel very friendly. And I said, "Wait, well, wait for me." And he says, "Well, I want to walk by myself." What? I can't walk by myself? And I had something in the car I wanted to give him. And then I feel like, what am I putting all my efforts into? He doesn't give a shit. And then he asked me what I have to give him because I had some pants that I got for him, and I made cookies for him, and I made cookies. I mean, for the house, but I had cookies for him. And I told him I have. He said, "What, the pants?" And I said, because I already told him about it. I said, "No, and I also have cookies." And he said, "Whoa, for your cookies, I'll wait." Like, he won't wait for me. It's like, what do I? If we're gonna be in a friendship, then I have to be producing. But it was like crappy. And then there were a couple of friends there that saw the whole situation, and that's also another thing. It's like degrading because every all of her friends there are like, I don't care what people think. Obviously, I don't care what people think. But I'm thinking about in the relationship, it's like he doesn't mind like completely degrading me. It's like disrespect. Like everybody knows there that it's kind of like one-sided. And so a couple of friends that we have there started telling him, because he sat and he waited for me for a few minutes. And they said to him, that he's mives, like he makes people feel bad. And I know that they were speaking for me. And he didn't get it. He kept on saying, "Well, I don't get it. I don't get what? What? because I didn't eat, because I didn't this, or what? I don't get what you're saying. And they were kind of like talking. Nobody said it flat out. And he asked, what? Are you talking about Pacheco? And I guess they didn't want to say it flat out. And they said, well, just the way that you are, you always leave. When you leave, you make people feel bad. And he didn't get it. And then when we were walking out, he asked me. He was talking a little bit about it, and then he asked me if he made me feel bad, and I said, yeah, actually a little bit. And so he said, yeah, but he didn't want to stay there because of the energies of the place. And I said, okay, like, but it's one of those things that, like, I have no ground in it. There's like, I have no. What am I going to tell him? Like, no, you should have stayed for me. You'd have to stay for me, dude. It just, but it does say something about the friendship. If somebody really cared about somebody, naturally, they would want to. We were the whole evening together. We would want to walk out together. We were leaving at the same time, basically. It just shows me kind of like what the relationship really is. There's nothing there to be upset about. There's nothing there. It's just a reflection. That's all it is. It's a reflection of what is. Because if he cared or had any kind of sentiments, see, I always put myself in the opposite. Like, I wouldn't do that to him. So obviously it's uneven. And then it just kind of makes my heart kind of go, like those, what I'm imagining is like those trees that you touch and their leaves go like that. That's kind of like, I feel like I'm just pulling back from him. Even if I still feel maybe the closeness or the friendship or wanting to be next to him, but emotionally, I feel like I'm a little bit withdrawing from him and starting to really like inspect what is, inspect the relationship. Like seeing what I'm also kind of like picking it apart, like seeing what I'm attracted to. Okay, so why am I attracted to him? What does attract me there? And I'm seeing all sorts of traits that attract me, and then I can separate the traits from him, kind of like I feel like he's very strong and centered in himself, and that's something that's very attractive. And it can be attractive in somebody else as well. It doesn't have to be only in him. And I'm starting to see, like, but there's certain aspects that I don't like like that, and then I'm starting to think like, okay, so in this whole, here's a whole bunch of thoughts that I'm having. Okay, so there's a whole bunch. So one of them is like, in this whole twin flame journey, okay, I lost him. I lost them all. I lost them all the thoughts. I think I'm going to pause this for a second and cry a little bit, and then I'll come back when I remember. Okay. So I feel like in the whole twin flame journey, it's like part of the spiritual rising is learning how to let go and hold on at the same time. It's kind of like this balance. And I'm asking myself, it's learning how to trust myself, to be there for myself first and foremost. But I'm also asking myself, is that the kind of relationship that I want? Something that is completely, it feels almost like disattached, like non attachment completely. Because in a relationship, like what is trust? When you trust somebody, you trust that they're going to be there for you. And I don't think it's clingy to trust that somebody is going to, you know, okay, so we're not in a romantic relationship and we're not a couple. Okay, I get it. But trust that somebody in a relationship that I want to be able to trust that somebody's going to sit with me and we're going to leave together. Like, I don't want to be, disattachment is disattachment, but disattachment to the point of like to each his own and each off on a different, like, there's different levels of things. If you're going to trust somebody, you need to trust that they're going to be there for you as well. Be there for you, not in a sense of where you're just clinging and dangling off of them, but be there for you in a sense of somebody's by your side, somebody's next to you. You can trust that you lay your hat, and you don't have to constantly worry about your hat. You know, you can lay your hat, or you can rest your head for a minute. And I don't feel like I have that with him. And so, what's the draw in it for me? And I don't feel like, I don't even know if he is capable of that in a relationship. He's so phobia about anybody laying on him or being on him. So phobia because of how he was raised. I get it. But that I don't even know, it's like he goes way too far in the opposite direction to where to where you can't lean on him at all. Even though he's super strong, you can't lean on him at all. And part of being in a relationship is being able to be vulnerable with somebody and being able to like put your guard down and not constantly have to hold up that constant place of, I can't let my guard down for a second. I can't be weak for a second because the person's just going to up and disappear on me if I show any kind of weakness, or if I'm not bringing the goods to the table, then there is nothing that, like, there's no hold, or there has to be something that, something that I'm producing or doing, or or projecting. Like, I have to keep my energy in a certain place, otherwise he's going to completely disappear because he doesn't want his energy mixed up in that. But on the other hand, I feel like I can hold that space for him. Like, I've been around him when he's been in pretty raunchy energy, actually, pretty nasty energy, like lashing out and almost like deterring me. And I can hold that space for him, but he doesn't hold that space for me. I don't feel like. I feel like anytime that I'm in my weakness, he's gone. He doesn't want anything to do with it, which is a-okay. He can do that, but is that what I want? Like, is that what I wanted in, like, even a friendship? Is that what I want? A friend that just makes you feel like shit and then ups and leaves? And then I ask myself, like, okay, why am I feeling like shit? Maybe the friendship isn't as close as, maybe it's his closest friendship, but I'm capable for way closer than that. I don't know. And then, okay, so those are some of my thoughts. My thoughts are like, uh, to sum those thoughts up, is that I feel like in my spiritual awakening, that I'm being taught how to let go and hold on at the same time, kind of like just be in a place of my own strength and just kind of in the center. But the question if that is what I want in a romantic relationship. If to have security in a romantic relationship, you don't feel like the person's going to up and leave every second. You feel like you can hold on to the relationship. Otherwise, there's no security in it, and there's no, you can't base anything on it. You can't build anything on it. You can't, if you can't have that basic trust that that person's going to be there for you, that not any second they're going to up and leave, you can't build anything with that person. And so I really ask myself, is that really what I want? Like, what is the draw in this relationship? Is it really a draw for a companionship in a life partner? Or is it just the draw because I'm attracted to him because of my self rising, and actual relationship is somewhere else, like taking attributes that I'm attracted to in him and being able to find them in somebody else that also has these other traits that, where I can actually trust that that person wants to be with me and will be there for me, even in my places of weakness. Because what to do? This is a life journey, and there's always going to be places that I'm rising and that I'm not, you know, otherwise, I mean, I'm never going to be done. So, and my life is progressing, and I want a life partner. I don't want to get to 65 and realize that I'm, what's the word when somebody's not sexually active? That I'm an old maid. I guess I can't be an old maid. I have kids already. I want a good relationship. Maybe that's what this is teaching me, what a good relationship is for me, and to stand up on my own. And the other thought that I was having, wait, I need to like center myself again. I need to pause it because it's run away from me, and then when I get like I have to remember it, I'm going to pause it. So, it's just kind of emotional. I guess crying lets the emotion out, and then like I cry it out, and then it's already out. So I can kind of, I don't know how much crying I'm gonna have to do to get all this out. Fuck. It's almost like I can't even pinpoint anymore what the draw is. Maybe it's just that I'm used to being a draw. But I feel like the second thing I was gonna say is that by letting go, like, I feel like I have to be ready to completely let go, because the price of letting go, I feel like, is the price of just losing the whole relationship. Possibly. Like, it's this complete surrender. So what is, I think to myself, what does surrender look like? What does surrender look like? Surrender looks like not holding on to anything. So it's not forcing not being in touch, and it's not, holding against, okay, I want to contact him, but I'm not going to call him because I don't want to, it's not holding in any way. Not holding in any way means just being, and whatever comes naturally comes naturally. But I feel like inside, when I feel like I'm holding and I feel like I just want to let go and just let be, I feel like that the price of it is quite possibly because I don't feel like he's holding it anyway, that quite possibly the whole thing will just like there won't be anything left. Like if I'm not holding it together, then nobody's holding it together. And if I let go, then the whole thing will just, and the price of not chasing is quite possibly losing the whole. I think about the twin flame journey and I think, well, you know, is that possible? Like we're connected. But it is possible in the 3D. It is possible. It's possible. Of course it's possible. There's so many couples that I see that don't have any kind of connection on the 3D. And I see how sometimes the energy between him and I gets like this like a like this push energy is like there becomes like meta, like what's the word when it becomes like in between us. There's like this tension in between us, and I can see how that tension sometimes that there's a little bit of tension in between us, and it's kind of like a wall. It feels like a wall, and I could see how if that tension was allowed to grow, it would just slowly make like this complete wall between us. If you, because sometimes after we're not in touch for a few days, it's difficult for me to contact him because of that tension, because there's like this like I don't know how to explain it. And so I feel like in the letting go and the like just the pulling back away, and that's what I feel like is happening kind of naturally this last at least week. At least I feel like one of those plants that you touch and their leaves close. Even when we're together, I don't feel like so I feel like I'm kind of stepped back a little bit away as and looking at it more than all the way in it. Emotionally too. I'm tired of always being hurt. I'm tired of like the pain. And when I step back and I look, it's like I see, like yesterday we were at the beach and there was a woman there that was obviously into him. She kept on coming and sitting in between me and him, like to get all of his attention. Um, and and as a friendship, being friends, him and I, that's fine. And it didn't do anything really to me. It's just kind of like, but in a relationship, like a romantic relationship, I don't want for every woman to be able to come and just get in between him and I. Even if even with everything. Like, I understand that he's not, I don't want to hold on to him. He's not mine, and I don't want to hold on to anybody. I don't want to and I don't want anybody holding on to me. But in a way of letting other people come and in between us in a way like that's very very physical and like completely physical, and it's energetically it's cutting off the connection between him and I. And when somebody comes and sits right in the middle, like him and I are sitting just a few couple feet apart, and somebody comes and sits right here and takes all the, you know, it doesn't feel, it feels like, it feels like Parutz, like the relationship, it's not what I want in a romantic relationship, that it's like paroots like that. Like paroots is means uh like open like that. Like that there's no boundaries. It's all completely like disattached and disconnected. And if in any way he was giving off, he was like giving off the vibe that, you know, and he doesn't. See, that's the thing, is that in the relationship between us, there's room for that. He allows that to be energetically. Otherwise, if he wasn't giving off the vibe that that was okay, then then and so and it's okay that that's the vibe that he's giving off, that that's okay. That's okay. That's what he feels. Like that's what he feels, but for me it's just kind of like a reality check. It's like, okay, that's where we're at. We're at a place like that. It's been, we've been in touch and we've been really good friends for over a year. And if that is where the relationship is after a year and something, then there can't be any kind of expectations of anything more. And so it's kind of like, what choice do I have but to, if I want a loving, meaningful relationship in my life and I want it to look different than that, and I want the sexual aspects of it and the obligation one to another, kind of, it doesn't have to, you can't, I know I've been married for 20 years and I upped and left after giving, after living in a relationship of complete devotion. But but if I want, if this is what the relationship looks like after a year and a half, it's not going to change. That's whether it's going to change or whether it's not going to change. I can't have an expectation of anything else than what it is right now. And if that is what it looks like right now, where there is room for any Tom, Dick, or Harry to come in the middle, and he's trying to set me up with other people, and he's giving off the vibe that it's a-okay to could just come and sit right in between the smack of the middle of us and cut off our energy completely, like the energy flow between him and I, because that's exactly what it is. It's blunt. It's like in your face, come and sit right in between me and him, is a complete blunt, it's sending out a message like, I want this place. And if he's sending out the vibe that that's just a-okay with him, and because if he wasn't sending off that vibe, then she wouldn't have felt comfortable to do that. And it's not the first time. There's other women that have done this exact same thing, even when we're standing, and come and stand right in the middle of both of us with their back to me. Um, it's happened over and over and over, and that's just something that he vibes out, that is a-okay. He's open for business, and if that is, that's okay. I mean, it's his, it's just the, I mean, if that's what he's vibing out, then that's the place that he's at. And then I need a reality check. Like, and then I question myself, like, can I be in a friendship with him? Because I want him in my life. But there's also things that are like in a friendship are kind of like not okay. Like this whole thing of like, I'm eating, get up and say, okay, I'm leaving. Like, I don't know. It just kind of feels like degrading. Okay, so maybe his whole thing is, don't put any expectations on me. I don't want anybody dangling off of me. I don't want anybody trying to tell me what to do. Fine. Won't tell you what to do, but there's certain things that are just like basic human respect. I don't know, like it feels like basic, I don't know, almost like common sense.
Maybe not. I don't know. Like, even with my, I had a really good friend. It was completely platonic for 8 years. We were like best friends, who was a man. And I wouldn't see him doing something like that, just up and leaving. Like, I wouldn't do that to somebody. Like, we were there for hours. What's the pressure for another like 5 minutes? You don't want to sit and wait for me for a second, even if you feel a little bit uncomfortable with the energy. So fucking what? So you feel a little bit uncomfortable with the energy, like, isn't that it's like he doesn't want to please me at all? Which, you know what? I don't ask for a lot, really. It's not like I need somebody to please me all the time, but at least not make me feel like total crap and like I'm worthless and that you don't give a shit about me or our friendship whatsoever. And that's what I feel like with the letting go. Like, okay, if I let go completely and I feel like I'm not holding the relationship at all, very well might be that the whole price of that is the friendship. Like, if I don't hold the friendship, then there may not be a friendship. And then I ask myself, okay, that could be the price of it. Are you willing to pay that price? And then I think to myself, well, surrender doesn't mean disconnect. Surrender means you just let go, and what is. Like, if you feel like calling him, you call him. If you don't, you don't. It's like, what is surrender? And then I think to myself, well, how do I differentiate? Like, it's still not 100% clear to me, but I do feel like I'm withdrawing a little bit from him. I guess that's what it feels like when you pull your energy back to yourself. But still, I feel like I'm mourning a little bit. But I'm always feeling like that. And what's the difference between now and so tired of this? So tired of this. I'm so tired of this. I'm so sick of this. I'm just tired of it. I wish it would all just go away. I wish that what I really wish is that I could have like a clear, clean friendship with him. So tired of this. Let me show you where I'm at. And I'm sitting on these rocks here. I was out of the sun, but the sun already got to me. And Lola's been sitting here the whole time. She's so cute. I'm gonna head back. Emotionally, I feel like I'm not even ready to start this day yet. In a way, I feel like these videos kind of hold me together because I can talk out all this crap. My insurance is up today. Okay. Thank you for watching. That's so funny. I really wish I could leave this video on on a high note. So tired of all these weak videos and the crying, and it's just stupid. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. What am I crying about? Why can't I just get over this? I'm so sick of this. So sick of it. I'm sick of it. It's like this saga drawn out. It's like and I feel like he's just like dangling me along. Really just like dangling me along. And then I feel like he gets a whole bunch of other women on the hook and dangles them along, and I can see like it's same the same draw. I wonder if he is just like that with everybody, and everybody, like that other woman that we met that also felt like, she also said, "Oh, he's my twin flame. He's my twin flame." And I'm thinking to myself, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just like, maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same thing. Maybe it's not real, and he just has this like dangling power. Has to have a whole bunch of women dangling. I don't think that's true. I think that's me just lashing out. I don't think that's true. But I see in the physical world that's really what's happening. Okay, I'm going to leave this. Thank you for watching.